Varun Berry, Managing Director of Britannia Industries, joins us. And Varun, congratulations, you made it to the prestigious MSCI index. How does it feel now that, foreign institutional investors clearly would be analyzing your company with a magnifying glass?
Well, it's always good to be on these indices, but what matters to me really is how do we keep this sustained growth going. And as a team, we think of consistency of results as our objective, and that's what we stick to.
Okay, Varun, let's also talk about your quarterly numbers then. And volumes have once again come in at mid-single digits, a far cry from your earlier growth that we've seen. While destocking hurt you in Q1, do you see restocking now in Q2 and an impact of that as well coming in by?
So the first month, so if you think about it, the last month of the first quarter and the first month of the second quarter were the 2 months where we were hit by the destocking. So from the second month of this quarter onwards, we started to see momentum come back. And we saw the second and the third month to be reasonably good. And we are hoping that we'll be able to sustain that as we go forward. It seems that all of those road bumps are out of the way now, so hopefully things should come back to a sustained growth from a top line perspective.
Right, Varun, how have premium products contributed to your overall revenues as a percentage of the total revenue? How has this increased?
So we have, as you know, we play mostly in the premium segment. Our play in the value segment is fairly minimal. But I must say that we saw a reasonable growth even in the value segment this quarter. So it wasn't that the premium products had a faster growth than the value products. So value products which have sort of been at a very low growth or even a negative growth for the last 2 or 3 years have also seen a little bit of growth coming back I think with demonetization, GST, and so when people are living on a shoestring budget, they tend to sort of look at a mix of value as well as premium products. So we maintained our premium product contribution. We did not drop that, nor did we sort of drop the value product contribution this quarter.
So how's the October-November looking in terms of volume, and would you say that you're back on the track?
Well, a company that doesn't do double-digit growth in this quarter is in serious trouble, because if you remember, this was the quarter of demonetization last year. So this is not going to be a representative quarter. The representative quarters are going to start from the fourth quarter onwards. But as you know, we don't give future outlook, so I'm not going to comment on what is going to happen in this quarter. But certainly the base for November is very low. So every company is going to show some great results.
Okay, but are things on ground looking up? It's one thing that, the numbers would see a big jump because you're working on a low base. Is on-ground reality now beginning to look up?
Yeah, well, hopefully we've seen, as in the last 2 months of the previous quarter, we've started to see a sustained momentum. And hopefully that should be maintained as we move forward.
Right, you've been able to halt the margin compression trajectory and deliver a small gross margin expansion. Can we expect more expansion in the future?
Again, I'm not going to give you any future outlook because that's something that we don't do. But obviously, endeavor is always to improve on where we are at.
Now, prices you've alluded to for the longest time, and you've also worked towards cost rationalization and more premiumization of your product. Has that aided your margins, and can we expect some movement there?
At this point in time, the inflation is fairly contained, so I don't think it's necessary to take a price hike. In fact, if you think about it, after the GST implementation, we'd actually taken price cuts on a few products where we'd got a little bit of a benefit. So at this point in time, I don't see price hikes coming in. But surely, as inflation starts to move up next year, certainly we'll need to take price hikes, and we'll work towards that.
Finally, Varun, give us some clarity on what's happening with the dairy business, because it's been pending for some time to come. You've set aside 1,500 crore rupees for next 3 years, which also I believe includes plans for an integrated dairy as well as flour mill. But what's the status right now?
So the status on that is that we are starting to do some on-ground experiments. So we are starting a small experiment where we are setting up some collection centers in Maharashtra. We want to read that carefully and then make our recommendations to move forward. This should take about 3 to 4 months. We are setting up these collection centers very close to the land that we bought in Ranjangaon. And I think by January we should have very clear outlooks on what we should be doing, how we should be tightening the belt, how you should be fine-tuning our operation, etc. Post that, we will take a decision to move forward as far as the investment is concerned.
All right, Varun, we leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining us and giving us your perspective on how business is shaping up. We wish you the very best for the future.